Good afternoon, welcome. It's election day, yay.
Yay.
December 9, I like that. December 9, 2025, the time is 4:31 PM. Athens-Clarke County Board of Elections and voter registration at 2:55. That's too many fives, but we're on Lexington Road. First item on the agenda is to adopt. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor of adopting, say aye.
Okay.
Okay. Next item of business are the approval of minutes. We should have 4 sets of minutes in our packets. First one is October 14th. Next one is November 4th. And there were 2 meetings on November 7th, one at 3 and one at 5:30 PM. Take a moment to review, otherwise the floor is open for motion.
May I ask the attorney a question?
Yes.
It's been brought to my attention that the minutes should be approved at the next meeting, and not accumulated, like we have done sometimes.
I mean, that's best practice for sure. Why do they get accumulated sometimes?
This is our first regular meeting since October.
Yeah, I think that's it. But you're saying so that we should approve them at the next, even if it's a special called meeting?
That's my question.
Yeah, that's probably better practice, but
Is
We can do that
there a
maybe.
law stating something specific?
let's look I'll look at, while we're talking, I'll look and see if there's
Thank
any
you.
contemplation of in the Open Meetings Act. I just think that we would refer to best practice, either your bylaws might say something about it, we'll look at those. And then, or Robert's Rules of Order, which would
Sure.
also would be kind of our
And I'm
next
pretty
go-to.
sure, Robert, do you have your book?
I do.
I would assume Robert's rule probably says regular meeting, but
Yeah, we'll double check. So those will be at the sources. We'll look at the bylaws, we'll look at Roberts. I don't think there's gonna be anything in open meetings, but I'll double check it.
Thank you.
Sure.
still, would you like to wait for an answer before we proceed, or
Yeah, we can go ahead.
you want to go ahead?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So did you make a motion or did you just have a question?
I just had a question.
Okay. Did you want to make a motion or anyone else have any edits before we make a motion to approve?
I move that we adopt those minutes from the October 14th regular meeting, November 4th special meeting, and both November 7th special meetings.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of adopting those sets of minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are adopted as presented. Next item on our agenda is public comment. We good?
Happy election day, Ms. Elsner.
Mrs. Elsner is recognized for 2 minutes. Proceed.
I know. Anyway, Jacqueline Elsner, 315 Commerce Street. And I'm very thrilled to be here on election day. And I'm here to say that at 3 of our polling places in today's election, I saw there were some candidate signs. And they were right outside the 150-foot boundary. So that was according to law. But they were within the right of way of, the sidewalk. And so I looked at called code enforcement because they say you can have signs in our private property as long as it's 5 feet beyond the right of way. But other than that, no. And I noticed on College Station Road, there were candidate signs, but I thought, well, it's on somebody's house. It's there in their yard. It's in their front yard. But these were at polling places. So I called code enforcement and I explained these candidate signs were not inside the 150-foot boundary, but they were still against code. And I asked, could they please remove them? And I said, it's election day. Basically, please don't do this next week because this is the only day it matters. And I drove by my fire station number 7. It was around 11:15. There were no candidate signs there. And then I went down Gaines School Road, and there were 3. Gaines Elementary is a polling place, and Hillsman Middle School is. So there were 3 candidate signs there. And I had been texted that Cedar Shoals High School had such candidate signs. So I reported that. And when an hour after I drove down Gay School Road, when I came back, those candidate signs had been removed. And I told the code enforcement, I'm a citizen, I can't take those signs down, only the county can. So they did. So I'm just saying, wish that all the parties would play by the rules. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Next item is the director's report. Chair recognizes Ms. Long.
Thank you, Lord. Okay, we have a couple of activity reports. The first one is for October. As we see, we had for the month of October, a total of 80,141 eligible voters, of which 70,698 were active and then 443 were inactive, and we had new 81 voters. For the total of cancellations were 213, of which 71 moved out of state. 68 were moved through, submitted through the Jarvis portal, requested other, 62 deceased, and we had 3 felon removals. I'll let Ms. Taylor do the absentee ballots and the open records request, for, the month of October, and then we'll move to November, and you can do the same as well then. So we're doing the month of October report, so you had mailed. look like-
Okay, 248 absentee ballots mailed.
Okay.
Am I going on over to November?
You can go ahead and do one, brother, yeah.
And for this month, for the special, this special election, there were 34 absentee ballots issued and mailed. And all 34 were returned. And there were no cures.
Look at that.
Miracles still do happen.
Because at the time when we did this report, it was reporting 20, but like you said, all of
Christmas
them
meal.
issued and returned. With the same.
Santa brought them, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
He returned them.
Did you tell me open records?
And then open records request.
Oh, and for, a previous month of November, there was 1 open records request.
Is that the one included in this packet
Yes.
somewhere?
And then for the month of November, we have 80,684 voters, of which 71,433 are active, 9,251 are inactive, and we had 221 voters that were added in the month of November. The total cancellations was 155, of which 36 moved out of state, 43 was submitted through the Jarvis portal, 6 requested other, 45 deceased, and 25 felon removal. And that is it for our activity report. As far as the department focus, we are in the process of moving. So as of Friday, we will be in the temporary location in the Costa Building on 133 East Washington. So if you would happen to come down to the election office now, it looks like a hurricane. So. But we have one of our clerks that will be stationed up at the top level. We have to go in between the side of Costa in the election office, and we have a clerk that will always be sitting there to service the voters, and if anyone would need registration or IDs, so there will always be someone upstairs to service the voters. Okay? And we're hoping that this renovation will be completed by March. We're hoping real hard. They say it will be, so we're hoping it will be.
What is the plan?
They're gonna just, do some, painting, we're getting new carpeting, we're getting new furniture, basically giving us some more space. So the furniture that we currently have in the office is kind of big, kind of cluttered. The bullpen that we have, it will be gone, so you'll see all new furnishing and everything when you come back to see the office.
Exciting.
And then the lobby, our lobby will continue to remain in the basement of the Costa building though, so we'll have like a full lounge.
Will you
in the
have a
basement
grand
of the Costa
opening?
building. So you want us to have a ribbon cutting ceremony?
Yeah.
It's a big giant scissors out.
Yeah, and then also,
Okay.
Audra upstairs will be getting a facelift as well, so.
But I'll still be upstairs.
I get
You'll
to
be
see
getting
daylight.
furniture and everything, so basically they're just trying to give us a little more space until
Good.
Santa, put a building in our stocking,
We have to behave first.
We gotta be good first, okay? Okay, then, and then all of you were aware of the, District One, the Morton Avenue situation, so do I need to read all this, or we are all familiar with this?
If you could give a summary, just so people
Oh, okay,
that
well,
may watch this,
okay.
understanding of what happened.
Okay, well, Mr. Barrow, he came in to vote during advanced voting. And when we pulled him up in the poll pads, it showed that he was in District 122. And according to the maps and on my voters page in Jarvis, all of them did indicate that he was supposed to be in 122, but he was sure that he was supposed to be in 121. So when he left, he went home and he looked up on the General Assembly webpage. And on the General Assembly webpage, it did show him as listed as in the House District 121. So he called the office back and he spoke with me about it. So I went and looked on our spreadsheet that we get from GIS, and actually on there, it did show that it was 121. So I told him that it was, and that, I made the changes to where, it was 6:30 in the evening. So, if he could have made it back, he was more than welcome to come back, but, he waited and he came back the next day. So upon finding that out, we still did some research to why his was still showing like 122 and then 121, because of the lines are kind of pretty close to 122. It was like a couple blocks kind of over from where his is listed. And then I called the Secretary of State's office to try to get some more answers. And, we was discussing it, and they feel like, because of all the changes with the lines, like from the 2020 census, it could have been possibly where in the last one that he probably was in the Senates, and all of them probably were in a different one, but because of how those lines were drawn, that could have had an effect on it. He could have still been in the same polling location, but some of the combos could have been different because of the lines. So it's still kind of hard still to determine basically like where it happened, or, how we could narrow it down. But like I say, he was fine when he come back in on that Friday to vote. I got a chance to speak to him, thank them for bringing it to our attention, and, we made the change and he was fine. So we sent out letters that Attorney Courtney, proofed for us, and those that we couldn't reach on the phones, or email. Melissa and one of our early clerks, they went out to the residents on Morton Avenue and put letters on the doors. And we had some of those voters to actually come in and thank us for actually doing that. So that gave them that opportunity to vote. So we went through every measure that we could to ensure that the voters that were in that district would have that opportunity to vote.
That's awesome.
So one question, if I recall, there's only a window in which voters can change registration prior to election. So these folks that we found there and corrected, are they able to vote in person like a regular voter, or are they having to use provisional ballots?
Regular.
The regular,
Appreciate y'all
Yeah.
tackling that.
Well,
because once you push it to the poll pad, I did the update, use a little click on that says send the poll pad. It took it a little minute, but Jarvis did his thing. They went in the poll pad.
Did we check other streets or areas that are adjacent 122, 121 streets to confirm those were correct?
And those were correct. Now, remember, we did have one where we had one voter who came in and he was in 121. It was listed in Jarvis and everything, but it still didn't show up on the poll pad. We still tried to resend it to the poll pad and it still wouldn't change. We checked that one through the GIS, Excel sheet and everything. All the information matched, but that person still couldn't show up on that poll pad. So he still got the vote. So we know he just did a supplemental vote. So,
Great.
but for some reason, so we submitted a reef for that particular one. So we're waiting on the systems team to, you know, to do the research on that to find out why that particular voter didn't show up as it should.
When I stopped at the tennis center and I was talking with poll workers there, a couple came in and they had that similar problem that they were in that subdivision that put out signs, go vote, and they went down to vote. And the poll workers there were very polite. The manager, I think she called your office to
Mhm.
check because he thought he was in 121, but
Mhm.
I don't know how it was resolved because I left at that time, but there was still that question about probably a boundary like you're talking about.
Mhm. Yeah.
Could I also ask some of the signs when you're going up toward the tennis center, the signs to vote are about this big. And I'm wondering,
So you think we need bigger signs?
I think you need bigger signs because, you know, you see so many signs on the road that you don't pay attention to them. But if we had something probably twice that size, and if we just had a few on the road, then the other smaller ones like this, you could have on the road up to the polling place. But I think those signs are really too small.
Okay. Take that in mind. And, what's next? Are there any other questions about?
I just think it's awesome that that voter really advocated for himself. You know, I mean, that just warms my little heart. You know, I mean, besides the fact the job you guys did, which was awesome, but, it was nice to see somebody hanging on to that right to vote.
Yeah.
We
As
have
hard as he
awesome
did.
staff, we really do.
Yeah. And cool voters too.
Mhm. Anyone else on, the Martin Avenue situation? All right, we'll keep moving.
We'll keep moving, and then, as you know, we got 3 SED cases that are going before now. So we self-reported them, so from what we understand now, they're going to be dismissed, I believe, once they hear them. Now, but Lisa says she got a chance to listen to some of the SED hearing today, and I guess they were having a good day, so, but. But, these are supposed to be, you know, dismissed, you know, there's the case with Mr. Howard, the 2 cases, and the one with the voter that, you know, had the cell phone out at the booth, so. That's
They,
it.
they met today? No.
They met today.
They
and they're
met
meeting
today, but they're
tomorrow.
wanting to.
These are on the agenda for tomorrow.
Mhm. They got a long.
What time does that meeting start?
Nine.
No.
I watched a lot of it today
You watched a lot of it too.
It was wild
Mhm.
today.
Did you have
popcorn? Needed a drink.
And then also for us a staff update, as you know, interviews for the elections director has been taking place. We've been through the first round. Lisa and I both had interviews, so we're hoping we'll get a call for the second one, and hopefully they'll make a decision. And once we know, we'll let you guys know who the director will be. And now Lisa will talk to us about the polling location update.
So we have a polling location that needs to be relocated in 2026. There's papers about this in your packet. It's called a relocation of 3B, Athens-Clarke. So currently, we identified that 3B needs to be moved because it's less than optimal ADA access. And we anticipate construction in 2026 that will take away the parking lot. Pam and I and Andrew had a meeting with the legal services director and people from the Linden House in October, thinking that the Linden House would be a good relocation place for 3B since it's right next door. But the construction is also going to affect Linden House in ways that are not optimal for voting. So that turned out not to be the place to go. So I contacted Public Utilities to talk to them about using Bobby Smuck's Water Resource Center and had a meeting with them on the 4th. They're very excited about us coming there and using the community room. On the map, on the second page of this, there's a little dot that shows you where it is in the 3B precinct. It is kind of up in the top corner. So the voters at the bottom may have a little bit farther to drive than what you guys like to do, which I think was
How
10
far is it?
minutes per, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it's not that far.
Usually it's
that's
about 2 or 3
downtown,
miles, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
it's a little bit past downtown. Up
It's
to-
3B downtown. So I
Bobby
guess-
Snipes.
Mm.
So, but it's not that far from one end of the precinct to the other. It's on the far end, where before it was kind of centrally located.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so just for your information, 3B currently contains 3,100 voters. Average turnout on election day is around 600 voters, depending on the type of election. So like I said, we would like to relocate 3B in January to Bobby Snipes Water Resource Center, which is located at 780 Barber Street. And it's a county-owned building, so that makes it really nice. We don't have to worry about what happens when you're in a private location where we might not be able to go back. So if you would add to your agenda to vote on this relocation today, that would be great, and then we can get all the paperwork done in January to get this started. And we'll follow all the election code and do all the proper postings and notifications and letters to make sure we do this properly, and get it done so that we're ready to use the location in May.
All right, sounds good. Okay,
Where,
yes.
would it be helpful if I offered any context on this?
I was going to offer discussion when we
Get to the
back into the agenda item,
Okay.
if we could just hold for now. Write your stuff down. Back to the director's report then, we'll wrap that up and then go from there.
Well, I guess we can wait till the new business, cause we'll be talking about the, special election day check-in, so I can wait till the new business to finish the rest.
November 17th and 12th, I'm not confused.
I think,
Just like
I think
copy
a
and
copy
paste.
paste got pinned, yeah.
Okay. So is this just a scratch it out? There we go. All right. Somewhere I have an agenda.
So that's all I have.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
I have a question going back to the renovations happening. It seems to me like this is an awful time for y'all to be having to move. And I just wanted to check in, like y'all seem, and of course you're rocking it, you'll be fine, you're world class, but I would imagine it's been just one more headache when you didn't want any more headaches for the moving. Like, has it have,
Just now.
how are y'all hanging in there? Like, is it,
We're handling it.
right?
We're handling it.
Yikes.
We are, like you say, we've had the special election, we've been packing, trying to get the furniture that's in the, office out of the office and,
Sorry.
we participated in the parade and so, we've had a lot happening,
You were in the
and
parade?
in the midst of, we were in the parade.
Did I miss your float?
Well, we were at the end.
We was
Probably
number,
and they're tired.
Were you working or were you, the office
They had
had
a
a,
float.
we
had
had
a
a float.
I was there with the family and missed it.
That's us.
Oh.
We were right behind Callie and Tito's.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's a bad placement.
I did
Yeah,
step
that was a
away
long
for a few
parade.
moments, so.
Yeah.
And not to belabor it, it's sinking into me like, goodness gracious, like it's hard enough, I've learned from watching y'all, to run an election when you're not supposed to, when you weren't planning to have an election. But like, I guess, I imagine the move was set in stone back in the summer, probably, if not sooner, and you knew this had to begin happening, or?
Simply, we thought we would be already over there because they would be doing the working now, but like you
Right.
say, we had this special election, so.
Yikes.
Well,
But
it must be,
we're managing it, like
Oh,
I say, we keeping up with the work and, we doing things in shift. You got, like you say, I call them the clickbomb.com, so I mean, we're working it.
I mean, y'all are pros, it's just, man, even world-class people can only take so much. I'm just sorry that you had some at home, right? So, just,
I think the
wow.
hiring process, they must have hoops and make these people jump through
Right?
hoops.
Wow.
I mean, they've been helping, like you say, everybody's coming together and helping. Lisa's an awesome painter. She did some good painting on the float and,
Are there pictures? Can I see pictures? Do we have videos?
We do have-
Pictures?
Good.
Okay,
Yeah. I'll share it with you.
we'll come back to that.
That's what I had.
We'll add that under new,
But yeah,
new
we're
business.
doing good.
Your
Like I said, we
side
gotta be
business.
out
Yeah.
by Friday, so,
All right,
yeah, so we're planning to, if not, we will be working this weekend to get it done. But we're hoping that we'll have it done.
okay.
Do y'all
Wow,
need some
all right.
extra help?
It'll be fine. I mean, the staff we're fine.
Okay.
We're fine. Thank you for asking, though.
All right. All right, next item on the agenda is old business. There is none, so we'll move on to new business.
Mr. Chair, would you like a motion to amend the agenda? Have they requested yet? Or?
The chair opens the floor for a motion to amend the agenda. Would you like to make one?
I would like to make a motion,
Okay.
to amend the agenda by adding under new business, 2026 precinct change for 3B.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead.
Shoots first. All those in favor of amending the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, let's do that as the third item.
Where do your comments come in?
Special,
We'll get to
well,
the-
first of. Special election day check-in.
Okay.
Oh, that's, yeah, no, I got you now.
Okay, so yep, as you can see, according to the call-in sheet, you know, we had, advanced voting, we had 1,710 voters that voted in advance in person. We had 34 to do absentee by mail. And then, election day as of 2:00, we had 942 total votes for election day.
So, did you see my emails?
I
is it-
saw that.
Both of those, as of 2 p.m., you add both those numbers together?
No,
Or the second
942
one?
is
It's
the
cumulative.
cumulative.
Got it.
And so that's where we at right now, so we'll know where we'll be at the end of the night.
Okay. All right,
But the
And then
votes
we-
have been going good, you know, like you say, we heard about the signage that was out on the, streets and stuff, we were aware of that too, so, you know.
attorney, do you have any thoughts on that whole right-of-way signage versus?
Right.
Mayor Brian, put on the spot.
No
You
thoughts.
guys don't like to
No
be put on the
thoughts.
spot, I know. Okay, everybody good with that agenda item? All right. Approval of 2026 regular board meeting dates, which I believe is in the packet as well. Got these so jumbled, I can't find anything. Ooh, that's a QR code. Exciting.
Nice touch.
And as you can see, we went on and like added all the special elections that we tentatively have. So that all this is already on the schedule.
I was gonna go to Mexico that date, guess I'm not. My anniversary.
Go the next day as a reward.
Their flight's twice as much the next day.
Oh, no.
You better go, honey.
Enough about me. We'll continue. I mean, it's good to me.
You're good.
How do we feel about combining your regular meeting with the election day meeting on the 4 instances that may happen?
Conflict, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Anyone else have a concern? All right, well, the floor is open for a motion to approve this. Okay, I'll make the motion.
On the question, on the middle parts, like, how do you want it to go?
Well, we could just remove the question marks.
So just to be sure,
Oh, yeah.
right, wanna make sure the motion, right, wanna make sure the motion says what you want to say. You've got for May, you want it to be the 19th, as suggested, not the 12th, okay? That'll be then at 3 p. Wait, no, it's election day.
Mhm.
And then Friday would be the pre-certification at 3 p.m., certification
Mhm.
at 5:30, I assume.
Fine, yeah.
And of course, we need to, but, and then ditto for June. So you
Yeah.
move to the 16th just already, just plan it to do the 16th, even if there's no runoff, just to cover it if there is, okay? Same deal for the certification meeting, 5:30, pre-certification 3 p.m., November. Do you want the 10th to be just consolidated with the 3rd, week before?
Well, first of all, it's not what I want. It's
Is that the
what
motion?
we want.
Oh, I see, is that the motion
Yeah.
that we're setting up here?
Yeah,
Um,
but yes, the motion.
so the idea would be there's no 10th to be on the 3rd, with certification and pre-certification on the 6th. And then go ahead and just pencil in December the 1st and 4th, but no 8th. I'm just saying this in case someone hears that and thinks that doesn't sound right. It looks right to me, for the record, I'm just checking to make sure those numbers work with everybody else.
Okay. So then we'll go at-
Let's try to get to tomorrow, so.
I hear that, definitely.
But you know, upon your approval, then we're gonna update this and we will send you the updated version.
Right. I'm wording this in as for the motion, so the people who don't have this sheet but have access to the minutes can see it. If I make the motion, I'm gonna read every single date. If somebody doesn't want that to happen, somebody else make the motion.
So right in there.
I already made the motion, so,
You did?
yeah, you're gonna
What's your motion?
second it. As presented in front of us. Just read it, it's fine.
All right, I'll second it.
Just,
I'll second it. So a motion by Mr. Raffle to approve the following dates. All locations are 2555 Lexington Road. And unless specified, or all days are Tuesdays, unless otherwise specified. And all times are 4:30, unless otherwise specified. Here we go. January 13th, February 10th, March 10th, April 14th, May 19th. Friday, May 22nd, 3 p.m. Same time, same day, 5:30 p.m. June 16th, June 19th, if there's no runoff, 4:30 p.m. If there is a runoff. Hang on, sorry. That's. So no, wait, then never mind. There's no runoff, there's no meeting. There we go. Thank you. If there's a runoff, 3 p.m. certification, or pre-certification, 5:30 p.m. certification. July 14th, August 11th, September 8th, October 13th, November 3rd, November 6th, 3 p.m., November 6th, 5:30 p.m., December 1st, and then December 4th, if runoff, 3 p.m. pre-certification, 5:30 p.m. certification. I have it seconded by me.
There you go.
That's the motion.
okay. All those in favor of that motion, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Okay. 3B. Mr. Interim Assistant City Manager, you are recognized.
Sure. So, the need to relocate 3B is based on an intergovernmental agreement that the mayor and commission adopted for the redevelopment of some parking lots along Jackson Street, which includes the surface lot located kind of between the current Hotel Abacus and the rec center at Lake Park. The mayor and commission still have additional items they have to approve to fully put this in motion, which would include a development agreement that could come forward as soon as January. It could also be in February or March. And part of that's because it's linked to a zoning action. There was actually like a 3-hour work session on this today that was on YouTube. So if you ever wanted to know more than you ever hoped about this, there's a great opportunity there. But because there would be temporary, well, both temporary and permanent impacts to that surface parking lot, which is pretty critical to people coming in and out of the community center where folks vote. It was our recommendation that we look to alternatives, and so that's why election staff have pursued that. The total impacts would be between 2 and 3 years. At approximately 1.5 years, there would be a new public parking deck created at the intersection of North Avenue, kind of behind where you have the Foundry now. That parking deck would connect with a flyover bridge to Lay Park. That would then take you into the community center at about a 500-foot walk. The intergovernmental agreement around that parking deck does stipulate that if that site is used for elections, there would be no charge for the use of that deck on elections day, because that would be the primary place in which you could park. And so really the board needs to be thinking about two things. One is, how do you address this immediate need before you? And two, the long term. And so I just wanted to share that today Commissioner Fisher shared a number of feelings about his desire to see elections remain in Lay Park. My sense is that if this development moves forward, that certainly would not be advisable in the short term, but would be plausible in the long term. And so I just wanted to relay that to you all. Certainly told him that we would. It's a little chicken and egg here, because there's a chance that this could go all the way to the finish line and then not be approved, and you all have relocated a precinct for nothing. But on the other hand, I can't give you any certainty whether it's January or February or March when you might know, and knowing that there's elections coming in May, I think staff are looking for some runway. So happy to answer any questions y'all might have about that, but the reason is there's gonna be pretty big disruptions in the near term.
Right.
My concern is the 500 feet walk,
Right.
because, where I work in medical, if somebody is allowed to have a handicap parking placard, if they're short of breath or have to stop and rest at 200 feet. So 500 feet, that's a long way for folks, even if the parking is free.
That's right. And that came up today. So what's interesting is, from an ADA perspective, this parking deck will result in more ADA friendly grades. So you'll no longer have to go up that steep driveway to get into the community center, but it's an exchange of distance, which is pretty significant. And I think about my own aging parents who don't require a wheelchair, but distance is a major challenge for them. And so from that point, what I would say is, you don't have to make that decision today, and you absolutely can wait to see these things materialize on the ground and see what changes are made within Lay Park to adapt to them before you decide kind of the long-term fate of 3B.
Any other questions?
Remember that meeting that we had at, where was it? That park, and we had go-karts, not go-karts, but golf carts to take us back and forth?
Oh.
Is that ever possible for voting day? Maybe we could have something like that?
And the liability on that,
That's what?
the liability on that.
Okay,
It's a good idea though. I like that.
thank you,
Anything's possible in this too.
thank you.
You know, the Linden House is used for early voting, and so it very well could be that y'all choose to pivot to that over the long term as well, or alternatively, not as well. But even in the near term, got to be kind of careful with that, because as there impacts to the Lay Park parking lot, we anticipate that some of that demand will shift back into the facility.
I did have a question. I believe I sent the email to Pam. I had suggested the fire station and what were the other locations?
It was the,
Community Health Center, whatever.
the Council on Aging,
Oh, yeah.
and I did reach out to them,
So those are both private
yeah.
places, so not ideal. What about the fire station again? Remind me.
Now, the fire station, parking issues,
Is there space?
There's a community room, but we would have to talk to them about it. From what I remember when we held the, what was that election when we did that?
The union thing?
Yeah, the union election, there were several entrances and exits out of that room, and that seemed to be one of their regular pathways through the firehouse, so we'd just have to talk to them and see,
Gotcha.
but the parking is not very good.
Right.
All the parking is on the opposite side of the building, down steps.
Mhm.
Station one is our second oldest station, and it also serves as our headquarters, so there's a lot of cross-pollination between administration and kind of your day-to-day operations, and so if you think about the next SPLOST coming forward, it would certainly be my recommendation that the mayor and commission focus on a replacement of Station One. So you could be having, even if it's the need today, in 5 years, you could be having a similar conversation, not that that should.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
Seems like we need to build something.
Bring your hammer.
I don't presume that I can think of a building that y'all haven't thought of, planning auditorium? That parking lot is that parking lot smaller than the fire station?
It's not smaller, but it's frequently filled up.
True. Okay. Wow. So it's such a pretty
Can I
map.
ask what objections you have to Bobby Snipes?
Martin's good.
I don't know that I have an objection per se. I'm just trying to think of something that's more near the vicinity of that building. And I mean, why couldn't those employees be asked to park? Or those guests, maybe on the front parking spot? I mean, things are doable there as well. I mean, there's the metered spots on the street that we could do like we do at City Hall. Or the spots in that lot, just put up signs, elections only. If you're here for the planning, you gotta park here, or just make sure that there's adequate spots.
So would you like me to look into the planning building?
And again, my concern is, and I don't want to speak for Miss Willow, but I'd imagine what she would say, is that this is a pretty far distance. So there's a lot of options. Vicinity.
And then, I guess just for me to help understand the context we're dealing with here, May is go time for the election, the next election, unless somebody resigns or something, and there's a March election. Nobody resign, please. The May election, so then we have our 60 and 90-day thing for the notification. We have to do all that, the window for things like that. Plus, we have staff that's finishing up an election right now. By the way, there's Christmas, and then there's moving happening also. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand that you have a lot going on, and so.
It would need, I feel like the decision would need to be made in January for sure.
Right, to
In
get
order
the pieces
get this
moving.
rolling, and then what happens if we have a special March election?
Right.
We're already
Behind.
pushing the
Right.
timeframe.
And you know what? I'd argue that there is the same amount of parking at Bobby Snipes, because there's always a challenge to find a spot there when we've been there for events or.
Yeah, but they were very accommodating, and we had a long conversation about how to open up all of that parking there. And even additional parking that's behind a fence down the road, but again, it would be a distance issue there. But
Right.
all of those parking spaces can be opened for election day.
How many
Is there a
spots?
bus route? Oh, I'm sorry.
That was another question I've had.
About 20, is that typically what we have at most polling
It's
places?
more than at some places for sure.
Okay, that's good to know.
Like, take the fire station at 8C on Barnett Shoals.
Mhm.
There's not that much parking there.
There is a bus, at least, that's right, Google says that back in
There's a bus there,
8, I guess.
on the bus route.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Snipes, beside the geographic location, seems fine. And because if I'm understanding correctly, the construction is expected to take 3 years was the later number you mentioned. So cushion 4 years possibly if, setbacks or whatever. So it needs to be not just get us over for the year move, but look for a permanent kind of thing. I definitely like public versus private. I don't like the idea of, we have been burned too many times by the winds blowing different ways and private people no longer being able to accommodate us. So, yeah, Snipes seems least worst to me.
Don't take it personal.
I try not to. No, I don't.
What are the thoughts of the other three of you of not having Miss Willinger to vote on this?
I certainly would, if Miss Riley weren't here, I'd want her to be heard. So in that vein, sure, definitely. Will she plan to be here Friday as far as we know? Because if this could wait till Friday to approve it and make it go.
It's true. Our meeting again on Friday. I don't really want to wait till January either, so I hear what you're saying. I get that. But I feel like Friday, at least we could reach out to her individually and just check in with her. I'd be happy to call her tomorrow.
Okay.
I would want, same.
Just to see which way the wind is blowing for her on that. Let's do that. We'll add it to Fridays.
Unless, are there any deadlines that are coming up that you had to move on something by tomorrow or?
But between now and then, do you want me to reach out to planning and just in case she's a hard,
Yeah, I
and
think that
becomes
might
the
be good.
deciding vote? Okay, I'll just make it a point to get in touch with people at planning tomorrow.
Yeah. Is there I can't think of anything else.
To look into, for me, planning just seems more central than science, but I understand it's not perfect. But yeah, it'd be good to know.
So add that to Friday's agenda.
Has it been published?
It has, I can amend it though.
All right, well, that's all on 3B then for now.
Do you want to formally table it or?
Yeah, let's do that. You want to make that motion?
I will, I move to table item 3 under new business until the Friday special meeting.
I'll second it.
Friday, December, what is that? 13? Well,
Well,
Thank you. There we go.
okay.
It is.
Motion from Shirley, second Ms. Dill. Those in favor of tabling the agenda item? Say aye.
aye.
All right, announcements are on this Friday, December 12th. Hey. We have a 3 o'clock pre-certification meeting and a 5:30 special meeting to certify the results. I am unable to make the 3 o'clock again, but I will be here for the 5:30.
I'm in the same situation.
Okay. And will you be here
I'll be here, so we need Willie here for sure.
on Friday?
Hopefully, yeah, for
Yeah,
the 3 o'clock.
you both will be here,
But,
5:30.
5:30.
yes,
Will you-
Good for
you'll be
three.
here
for both.
I mean, if there's no quorum, there's no quorum. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
On the 5:30, what?
You have to have a form?
The
Well,
sheriff
not if
can
you're
come
not voting
find
on
me
it.
and bring me there, I guess. I don't know.
No quorum, no meeting.
So if you don't have a quorum and you conduct business, then in theory, somebody could challenge the decisions that were made.
Well, we
During
wouldn't
that
conduct business without a quorum, so.
Could it be analogous to like the SPOS committees when sometimes when we don't have enough quorum, we discuss and we make recommendations, but no business?
Yeah, I guess, and we talked about the 3 o'clock meeting last election, just a couple weeks ago. And, I guess I didn't break, well, it's down in there. So there are occasions, so if if the staff brings you guys issues that need to be dealt with, the business of the board would be determining how to deal with those discrepancies in the voting. So in that way, there may be business to be conducted, so
Yep.
it could be a problem, but,
You can call my boss.
okay.
Could we have a meeting and if something like that comes up, we just, handle it in a way that it goes forward to when we do have our next meeting? Do we
At
have?
5:30 that day.
Yeah,
Yeah, because, right, because the certification really, I mean, we're doing it at 5:30 PM, but it really is not due till Monday, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, then yes.
Okay, so we could just do that if we have something come up.
Okay. And does a body have to be here, or can somebody be on the phone, or is that not allowed? I don't know how it
It
works.
doesn't, yeah, so somebody could technically appear telephonically or like online or something like that, but there's only a couple, only if they are sick or out of the county,
Oh,
and then it doesn't count towards the quorum.
oh,
They can still participate in business, but doesn't count.
And you
count as
can
a
only do
quorum.
that a couple of
Isn't that
times
interesting?
in a year.
Yeah, you can do it up to 2 times
Two
before you need a doctor's
Right.
excuse for them.
So I could be the fourth, but not the third in this case. Like I could be a fourth non-voting member to join if there were a quorum already. Interesting. That's almost helpful.
Okay, and then remind me, what does the agenda have, do you have the agenda? Is it in here? For Friday, no, I
Oh,
have,
sorry. I have it, but it exists. Hang on.
because I will be here, but I could potentially be late, but if it's one of those where we gavel in and then look at it and then go to recess for 45 minutes, that gives me a lot more time to pick it up on the other end, so if I don't, perhaps you could start it and then I can
yeah,
do the hard part for you after.
yeah, you mean the 3 o'clock or the 5:30?
5:30,
Oh, you can't even come to that one either?
which is unknown.
Yeah, okay,
I intend on being here, but
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And the 3 o'clock meeting is just a clunky one. It was one of those ones that was added by the state election board, with all those rules changes, and it
Right.
didn't get overturned in that big eternal vigilance case, so it's kind of unclear what's really, but it has to take place on that, or by 3 o'clock on that
That's what I
Friday.
was wondering.
Yeah,
Do we have to finish at a certain time? I mean, can we gavel in and then take a recess? And then at 5 o'clock or 5, come back in and end it and then go into our 5:30 to take care of business?
yes, you could. Yeah,
Okay.
if that's the situation we find ourselves, if you find yourself without a quorum, that's
Right.
not a bad strategy.
Okay,
You can deal with that.
We got you. I got you.
You can deal
if
with
Willa
it.
is unable, I can drive over for a few minutes, but I cannot sit here for
Okay.
a long time.
That 3 o'clock one should be fast.
Yeah. Okay,
okay.
all right. Next item on the agenda is to adjourn.
Well, if I can, just for a second, I did find the answer to Miss Phil's question while we were sitting
Oh,
here
great.
about so the Open Meetings Act talks about how the regular minutes of the meeting should be approved by the committee no later than the immediately following next regular meeting. Okay, so at that, no later than the next regular scheduled meeting. And then your bylaws provide that regularly scheduled monthly meetings include approval of the minutes of prior meetings. So I think that your practice of doing it on the regularly scheduled meetings is fully in compliance with both your bylaws and the Open Meetings Act.
Okay, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. On that
Good
note,
question.
It was a good question.
would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
I would,
Let's hear
I do.
it. Have a second? All right, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
5:25.